Shut up and sit down.
Welcome to Sarge Approved. I'm your host, Sarge, with Frenzy. How's it going, Frenzy?
Hello. Super duper good. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. I'm excited. We have our guest in studio, not in studio, but our guest this evening is actor Bryan DeSanto. Did I say that right, Bryan DeSanto?
You said my name perfect. You said it perfect.
Awesome.
Yay.
All right.
Most people put an S on the name of it and make me Mexican.
DeSantos.
DeSantos. Yeah, I become either a Mexican saint or a Puerto Rican patriot. I'm not very sure.
Well, I like to think I take a little bit of pride in making sure that I pronounce people's names correctly, especially our guests.
Thank you.
Yeah, you'd kind of be a dick if you didn't. That'd be kind of rude.
But it could be a funny spin if I purposely mispronounce people's names.
Yeah, absolutely.
In a whimsical way.
Mm-hmm.
There was a guy in the 80s sometime, not to show my age, but that was his shtick. He was a comedian. They used to hire him to do the announcements of red carpet events, and he would purposely, that was his shtick, he would mispronounce people's names. Like John Gleese would be John Grease. And it was a riot. It was a riot.
I can see how that could be quite humorous.
Yeah.
Let me pause here for a minute and give a little moment to our sponsors.
Hey, this is Frenzy here to talk to you about National Survival Center. This is the place where you can purchase all of your outdoor camping gear and supplies, survival kits, disaster preparedness supplies, bug out bags, and even survival food. All with some of the lowest prices on the internet and free shipping on almost everything. You can depend on National Survival Center to provide you with the highest quality gear paired with superior customer service. And when you purchase your gear from National Survival Center, you're not only getting a great product, but you're receiving products that have all been hand tested to ensure that they'll be reliable, durable, and that they'll function properly. So whether you need some gear for a family camping adventure, or maybe you want to stock up for the zombie apocalypse, National Survival Center can provide you with the quality products you're looking for. You can find them at www.nationalsurvivalcenter.com or www.survivedon'tsuffer.com. Either way, don't suffer. Make sure you survive.
Welcome back to the show. We are with actor Bryan DeSanto. So, Bryan, you are an actor.
Yes, I am. Well, I guess it's a matter of opinion, though.
Why is that?
Well, I mean, everybody likes to pride themselves as an actor or as whatever they are. But it's all in the eye of the audience, whether you have talent or whether you come across as a true actor or whatever the case may be. So it's really a matter of opinion. But I like to think that I am. I like to think I do a good job.
Where are you coming to us from tonight?
I'm at the moment. I'm in Philadelphia, PA. I had a long day today. I had a bunch of different meetings with people and setups for my next film, and I'm headed back home later this evening. I grew up in Philadelphia, in South Philadelphia, as a matter of fact. And,
okay.
I grew up with a lot of guys, Italian guys. Val's a very particular organization that they belong to in Philadelphia, and they're all in federal prison. I grew up with a lot of guys like that here, and when I was married, I moved to Northeast Philadelphia, and then after that fat bitch left, I moved. I wound up with a really good payday from LA, and I bought a place in Manahawkin, New Jersey. So that's where I've been, outside of New York City. That's where I've been living now.
Okay. So the more important question is, who's your football team?
You know what? None of them pay my bills, so fuck them.
Oh, come on now.
Oh, really? You don't have a favorite?
No, I don't have a favorite. Honestly, football never made sense to me. I boxed and I studied different martial arts for a long time. I was co-captain of the wrestling team in high school and stuff like that. Football and baseball, that never made sense to me. You throw the ball to this guy and he runs away. Somebody punch him and take the ball. Now you had a game. Somebody hit that guy.
You get to
So maybe like rugby a little bit might be a little bit closer.
Yeah, rugby, lacrosse. I enjoy anything you can take a stick and hit somebody with. I'm in.
Yeah. Hockey. What about hockey?
No, I'm not a hockey guy, but I do enjoy I do like. Don't get me wrong. I'll sit. Well, I got to say, because I'm from Philadelphia, the Eagles. I have to. I have to say.
Okay.
But the home team. You got to support the home team. But
right.
I'm not. You wouldn't catch me on a Sunday watching a game. You wouldn't. I would. You'd find me playing my piano or in the gym or something. It's a waste. I could get drunk doing better things.
Well, thanks for making us football junkies feel like fat pieces of shit.
No. Hey, listen. If the football guys usually are in good shape. You know, they're usually power lifters, and they enjoy their beers on Sunday and everything. But I mean, it's cool. It's all relative.
Yeah, the football players, not necessarily the fans.
Well, I said football guys. I tried to make it universal. I don't want to isolate, but okay. You want to back me in a corner? Yeah, there's some fat tubs of shit out there.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, everybody's got their thing. You love football, you love baseball, you like cards. Some people gamble, some people shoot boot heroin, whatever your thing is. I mean,
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally.
Are we in an A frenzy, or are we doing on step 10?
Like probably 9, closer to 9.
Very cool. Very cool.
You mentioned that you practice some martial arts. What you dabble in there?
Well, I was the fat kid with glasses that everybody used to beat up.
Oh, so that was your motivation.
Yeah, I had enough of that around 11 or so, and I want, believe it or not, now this is going to get crazy. I know, don't say it. Everybody already says, you know who you look like? Let me guess, Sylvester Stallone? Yeah, so I started boxing at Mickey Rosati's gym. My boxing coach's name was Mickey. And I have a friend named Paulie. That is true. 100% true. So anyway, I started boxing at Mickey Rosati's gym, and I never had like a pro fight or anything like that. I had a couple small fights, and I had my nose busted a couple times. And then up the street from Mickey was a place called, it was Ron Romano's place, Shotokan Karate. And Ron had trained with a guy named Teriyoko Okasaki, who was a grandmaster. I think he's a great grandmaster now. I don't know. Maybe he might be dead. But Ron had actually searched the country looking for Teriyoko Okasaki to train with him. And I started there. And when I had trained there, then I trained over at J.C. Shin School in Tangsu-do, who trained Chuck Norris. And from there, I was on the wrestling team in high school, and the track team, and the powerlifting team. And then I picked up Kempo. And then I did nothing for a little while because I started as a musician, and I was lucky enough to go on the road with a lot of bands in the 90s and play piano for them and sing for them, and that was my living. I got to tour the world and see the country and get paid to do it. So I got into yoga at that time to stay in shape, and when I retired, I had my son, I discovered Muay Thai kickboxing. Okay. So I actually did some Muay Thai fighting for a while, and I had my ass handed to me quite a few times. But then recently I just started studying jiu-jitsu and judo.
Beautiful. And so some people would say that Muay Thai is might be one of the best martial arts to learn. Yeah, to learn if you're actually ever gonna get in a street fight. Just a straight up street fight. Muay Thai could be one of the most effective things to know.
Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu, because all fights end up on the ground.
Yep,
they all end up on the ground. Yeah. And I was the guy in my 20s. I had a bit of a worm in me from the way I grew up. So I was the guy in my 20s that if you looked at me the wrong way or you did something, I'd most likely hit you. So I had to curb that. No, I really did.
You're the dude that just ruined every party.
Yeah, no, it's more interesting. I was always a good time when I was there. Just I had that chip on my shoulder, and it took me a long time. I actually, one of the actors here in Philly hung a label on me, and it stuck. I'm allegedly Philadelphia's Mickey Rourke. So I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But
That's awesome.
Yeah.
yeah.
Who doesn't love
Did you
Mickey
know
Rourke? I
there's-
love Mickey Rourke. That dude's
I do
badass.
too. You brought up Chuck Norris earlier. Did you know that when Chuck Norris slices onions, the onions cry?
The onions cry. When Chuck
Yeah.
Norris does push-ups, the world moves.
No,
Yeah.
there was one where I saw it was a meme from that one of the Expendables movies, and it was Jason Statham and Chuck Norris were in the little scene, and Jason Statham goes, "How many push-ups can you do?" And Chuck Norris goes, "All of them."
All of them. My favorite. My son told me one when he was little. He said, "Daddy, you know what happens when a zombie bites Chuck Norris?" I said, "What?" He said, "The zombie turns into Chuck Norris." I love
That's cute.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, he's a good kid. But JC had all these great stories about him. Some of the instructors had fought with Chuck at the time, the older guys, and trained with him and knew him. And he's a very weird guy, from what I understand. I never met him, but not weird like he's like a pedophile or anything. He's like
Not like creepy.
not
Weird.
creepy. He's not Van Damme.
Eccentric.
Right.
Yeah, he's got like a very strange sense of humor, and he's like nerdy. I think that's
Really?
the word I'm looking for. He's very nerdy.
That's probably
Yeah,
why he's such
that
a
makes
badass
sense.
now. He was probably a big nerd growing up, and that's what turned him into a badass.
Yeah, well, that's what happens. I mean, like I said, my story, it was like fight or flight in the
Right.
neighborhood I grew up in. I grew up in a pretty bad neighborhood, and in South Philadelphia, and fighting was for lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Either you learn to fight, or I remember guys would do great things like this to you. Like I remember one time, and you know, I grew up. I don't know. I think are either of you Italian?
No.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I'm
You're Italian, I assume, right?
yeah. Depending again where you put the S.
I got Norwegian blood. Frenzy, you're German, right?
Well, let me tell you, the Vikings
Yeah.
was bad bastards. The
yeah.
Vikings were no joke.
Mm-hmm.
Italian parents are very interesting parents because my father split before I was born, but my mother raised me, and I remember the things like this in fights, like you'd be doing nothing and somebody would unravel a coat hanger and slash you across the back with it.
Oh fuck.
And I ran in the house crying my eyes out. This is about the time it started. I ran in the house crying my eyes out, and my mother punched me. It's the truth. My mother punched me, and she said, "You go out there and kick his ass, or I'm going to kick yours." And I went, I got the guy a little smaller than me or the giant. So
Yeah.
he lost. I went outside and I beat the guy's head against the wall.
Damn right he lost.
Yeah,
I want to fight my mom.
Yeah, and Italian women. My family's Sicilian, so Sicilian women, they're as bad as black women. They know how to throw their hands, man.
Yeah.
I was a bouncer. I'd rather fight 10 black men than one black woman.
Yeah.
It's no joke. And I'm
Yeah,
not being
no.
racist. Those
Nope.
chicks are bad.
Yup. They don't fuck around. They don't take
Right.
any bullshit.
No, and that was the nicest gig I had as far as my bounce. At the time I spent as a bouncer, I bounced in an all-black bar in Southwest Philadelphia, and it was the greatest job I had. I never had any problems. The only white person. I never had any problems. It was respectful. I was respectful to them. It was terrific. It was great. When black people come out to party, they come out to party, and when they come out to fight, they come out to fight.
Yeah. Well,
And
yeah.
the fights were few. It was usually a party. It was a great job. Compared to like I would bounce in a strip club. Gee, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So being from Philly, how old were you the first time you climbed the Philly Museum of Art steps? Come on, I need to know.
All right. Well, that happened. That happened in 76, 77. So I was.
Yep.
All right. Now I'm going to give my age. I'm a little older. I was 7 years old when Rocky came out. So
Yep.
I'm going to say probably 10, 11, or 12, somewhere in there.
Okay. But you've done it, obviously.
I have done it. Yes,
Oh,
I've done it and danced at the top of the
Yeah.
steps and said stuff like, "Hey, you know, I ain't punch you. I got what you call maybe relaxed brain, but I ain't punch you."
That's not a bad Stallone. That's not a bad Stallone. Hey, Adrian.
You know, maybe from the 70s, maybe. I don't know.
Oh shit! Yeah, I know. Everyone's got to do that. If you ever get a chance in front of those steps, you have to do the Rocky scene.
Yeah. It's just something. It's amazing because if you look at that at Stallone, and I have certain heroes. Arnold Schwarzenegger is a very big hero of mine, and Stallone is not because they're famous or not. It's because of what they did, and it goes to show the human spirit and the capability of the human being itself. If you don't give up and you fight the good fight and you hang in there and try, sooner or later the wheels click. I mean, here's a guy, Stallone, who had $120 in his bank account. His car broke down. He sold, you know the dog in the movie Butkus?
No.
That's his dog. That's his dog in Rocky 1. Butkus is his dog. He sold the dog because he couldn't feed the dog anymore.
Oh, shit.
Joe Spinell, who was a very big actor back then in The Godfather, he got famous for being in a movie called Maniac, and he was a complete maniac. The guy was a whacked out alcoholic, drug addict.
Who was he in The Godfather?
He was Cheech in The Godfather.
Oh, okay.
He had the glasses, kind of weird-looking guy. In Rocky, he played Mr. Gonzo, the loan shark. Did I give you a job?
The loan shark guy.
Yeah. I give you a job.
Okay.
Did I tell you to break this guy's thumbs?
I figure if I break his thumbs, then he can't work.
Yeah, that's right.
So, Joe Spinell had a big heart, and he liked Stallone. Stallone couldn't get a job as an extra in The Godfather, and Spinell was giving Stallone money out of his own pocket to put food in the refrigerator. And this is where Stallone was. He went for an audition, and they passed on him. I mean, his wife wanted him to get a regular job, and as he was walking out the door, he says, I do a little writing and this and that. And they said, well, when you write something, bring it back. And he brought a script called Paradise Alley that they passed on. And he said, I got this other idea about this boxer. And they said, well, let us see it. He wrote Rocky in 3 days in a spiral notebook, brought it back, and the bidding went up to $300,000 in 1976 for Rocky. And Stallone would not give up that part. He said, no, and this is where I am with the movie right now. And he said, no, I'm not. I have to play this part. Because he just knew. This is his shot. So they gave him, to make Rocky, they gave him $75,000 all in.
Oh, my
all
God.
The clothes, all the clothes you see in that movie are the clothes that came out of those people's wardrobes. That's their clothes. Mr. Gazzo, Joe Spinell flew on his own dime to Philadelphia with his own wardrobe. He got paid a little, Stallone's pay for that movie was $300.
What?
That's the God's honest truth. Now the movie releases, 12 Oscars later, Rocky.
Wow.
That's the human spirit. You keep your left high and you keep throwing. You keep throwing your hands until you get his arms to drop and you get to the head. I compare everything to a fight. I always do. But that's if he could do it, and you just got to hang in there and stay true to yourself. You really have to.
I was just going to say, Spinell was the godfather to Sylvester's late son Sage too, right?
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
And Joe and him. I was pitched a movie by a writer in Greater Pennsylvania. Great movie. He's actually one of the guys that got me my start acting, and he pitched me this movie about Joe Spinell. He was starring Andrew Dice Clay, and I think he's having trouble getting the funding, but the script is terrific, and I really never knew anything about Spinell, but what a career this guy had. The only thing is, if you go on YouTube, there's a documentary about him to watch.
Oh, really?
What a complete maniac the guy was.
What's
what
that?
A complete wild man.
What's that documentary called?
It's just I really don't know. I could look it up for you if you want, but I'm afraid I'll lose you. So, but if you go on YouTube, put in Joe Spinell. If you would, friends, you put in Joe Spinell, and the documentary will come up. For a while, he was married to a porn star.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and
they had a daughter together. Yeah,
they had a daughter. So he takes his management and production team to the opening of her porn movie, and these guys are saying, Joe, we don't want to go see your wife in a porno movie.
Right.
He was like, no, come on. So Joe, he was a smoker, so he would sit off on his own and smoke, and he had his popcorn and juju beads. And he's sitting there. I don't know. I don't want to get too vulgar on your show.
No, it's uncensored.
Oh no, you're fine.
It's
You're
uncensored,
good.
brother.
All right, because I want to say what he actually said. I'd water it down if I have to. But so they're all watching it, and anytime somebody told a stupid joke, Joe would scream and laugh and throw popcorn in the air. Everybody's staring at him. So they get out to the lobby and say, "Okay, look, when she was sucking the guy's cock, she really wasn't. She was like licking it a little. And when he was throwing her in the butt, you could see she really didn't like it that much. And the guy's going, Joe, I gotta leave. Go to a party and his wife's there, and you just watched her blow 10 guys, and Joe's happy.
Jeez.
What a maniac!
That is insane.
It was, and he would drink and drink and drink endlessly. It was the guy was what he was, and he made no. He didn't believe he had. Him and the government had different ideas about taxation.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like Joe didn't believe in it. So he would get $16,000 paychecks or $65,000 paychecks from The Godfather. Joe was the highest paid actor on The Godfather. He made more money than Marlon Brando.
What? That's crazy.
What he did is he talked to Coppola. Joe was very personable. And he talked to Coppola and he said, I really want to learn the movie business. I really want to learn to set it out. Can I come and help? And he said, yeah, sure. So he signed in every single day of the shooting of The Godfather. So he got royalty checks for every day's shooting of The Godfather.
That's smooth, motherfucker.
Is that brilliant? I think about that. When I did House of Cards, I was talking to everybody. I was like, listen, I really want to go in the rafters and learn about the lighting. Can I shut up? Okay?
Yeah, right.
Yes, sir. Where do I go now? Don't beat me.
Damn.
That's funny.
But that's the truth. That's what Spinell would do. What a guy. But he and to see the people that he knew and the range he had and the vast body of work he had is amazing, because they said that his preparation, like I'm a method actor and sometimes I really need to prepare for a part. Some parts are very hard on your mind. One part I played for my film called Backroads. It's a film by Drew Pizzo, special effects by Tom Schmidt Jr., Sick and Twisted Effects, and brilliant guys, terrific script. But this character is so dark and evil, and it's just horrible. Some of the stuff went really far in the script. It went really far, and unfortunately, I can't, because of the non-disclosure, I can't talk about that. You got to wait for the film. But I could actually send you guys the trailers if you want to watch the trailer to the film.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Do that.
It was so disturbing. I remember we filmed the one scene, and I was in my dressing room, and this girl I was dating walked by the door and came in the bathroom. I was in the shower washing off the fake blood and the dirt and stuff, and I was sitting in the shower, sitting on the tub floor, crying my eyes out. It was so disturbing.
Really? And this is what you're filming right. This is the one you're filming right now.
No, it's already in the can. It should be released this year.
Okay, gotcha.
17. I'm in the midst of filming 2 different movies, and I'm writing 2 for separate people. I can talk a little about the one film that's going to be pretty much a very big project. But I'm in the midst of filming right now a movie called Without You, starring myself, Michael McFadden from Gotham, and Blood Runners with Ice-T. He's a very big actor. He's doing terrific stuff. Tony Devon. I wish I could remember everybody's name. I'm so bad with names. And unless I see you all the time, like Frenzy, I completely forgot who you were until I saw Frenzy. And how hard is it to remember Frenzy? It's the drugs. The drugs have burnt my mind out.
It's okay.
It's slowly. I'm turning, as I get older, I'm turning into Brando without the fat.
I'm going to be on the show with Frenzy and Sergeant Frenzy. Sergeant. I had mashed potatoes last night for dinner. They were scrumptious. But
That's not a bad brando either.
It is a good brand, though.
Thank you. It's one thing I've always done is mimic. I discovered that when I was a kid, when I was in grade school. Like I said, I used to get beat up all the time, so being funny was very helpful.
Yeah, you either got to make a bully laugh or be able to punch him in the face.
Yeah. Well, for a while I did the laugh thing, and until I just had enough of like getting wedgies and stuff like that. South Philly was a brutal place back then because there was a lot of race wars going on back then. There was a lot of unrest in the 70s. The 80s was a really nice time. Everybody seemed to get along very well. Some of my best friends, I have every nationality, creed, color. I love everyone. Unless you harm me personally, I've got no quarrel with you. Getting back to what I was saying, Without You, it's the story of it's the film by Sonny Velosi. Sonny, he's done several films now. He was on The Sopranos. He was on Hack. And he became a director and a DP. He's done some really, really great work. It's a great script. He approached me early in the project, and his exact words were, "Would you be in my movie?" And I said, "Sure. Let me see the script." And the script was very, very good, and he had a nice budget. See, that's the other thing is a lot of filmmakers come to actors or come to people, and they want to make a movie, and they have no budget, or they just have enough budget to take care of this. We're professionals, and you need to treat us as professionals, and we're not mercenary. Like me personally, I'm not a mercenary, but this is how a lot of us make our living. Don't belittle us and say, "Well, I really can't pay you, but I'll give you IMDb credit and I'll make you a ham sandwich."
Right.
Go to your dentist. Go to your dentist and say, "I really need my wisdom tooth out. I can't afford to pay you, but I'll buy you a Subway."
Yep.
See how fast before he throws your ass out. Get this jackass out of here.
So.
I'm not a mercenary. If I believe in you, you don't have a great budget, and I believe in your script. There's always deals to be made for actors, and actors don't understand this. There's back ends. There's half pay and the back end. There's promotional pay. There's all kinds of stuff that you could do to work with people and help them. If people would take less time being greedy and fat pigs and stupid sloppy asses and help one another, we'd be a lot further along in this world. We really would.
100% agree.
Well, and doing things because you enjoy doing them and you're passionate about them, not just because you get a paycheck.
No, absolutely. Yeah. Have you read your Emerson? Emerson had Emerson's essay on self-reliance. One of the greatest things to take away from it is follow your passion. Don't do what you think society wants you to do. Do what your heart tells you to do. Mm-hmm. I've always been the weird kid. I played with makeups. I love makeup. I played with makeup since I was a kid. I'm obsessed with monster movies, and I wanted to learn how Frankenstein was done and how all these things were done. And I would go every Halloween, and I would spend, I thought $100 was $1 million back. 11 years old, you saved up $100, man. You're Rockefeller,
Yeah.
And I would go blow it all on makeup on Halloween. I would stock up all this makeup, and I would make up all the kids, and their fathers were all mad. I used to get beat up. Oh my God! I would, again,
but they let you do it. They let you put it on them, right? So
they would let me put it on, but the parents weren't happy about it.
Whatever. Could be worse.
In the 70s, yeah, sure. In the 70s, there was still a lot of stigmata about that kind of thing. Men should makeup and all that. Actors were gay. Yeah, all of us are gay. We're all gay.
Yeah, every single one of you.
Yeah, my obsession with breasts is meaningless. I like, yeah. The bigger, the better. You're on my Facebook page, right, Sarge? Are you Frenzy?
Yeah, I am.
I just requested you, I think.
Okay, I think every third post is about gigantic breasts. I just love them.
Okay.
My one ex was a Triple J cup. I just love them.
That's not a thing. Triple
J?
J?
It absolutely is. I've been out with a double G, a triple H, a triple J, a double F.
That seems excessive, Brian.
Well, nothing achieves like excess.
Hey, at least you know what you like. That's good.
It's the truth. I mean, why dilly-dally about what you like? If that's what you're into. I remember I was on a dating site for a little while after my wife left. I won't name the dating site, but it was a real, I won a mistake. I think everybody on it had just been released from a mental institution. But,
yeah, probably.
I put that on there. I put on that I like extremely large breasts. I just love them. The bigger, the better. And I was getting, like every other, I had these girls, I have what you want, but I would get, every other one would be these hating people. Well, that's disgusting. Why would you say that? What if I put up that I like big cocks? And I wrote back, well, if that's what you want, why would you settle for a little one? Put it out what you want.
No, that's true. I agree with you if you're, especially if you're out on dating sites or really in any situation. Otherwise you're just going to be sitting there playing some game back and forth until you finally admit that you like big tits.
Yeah, I mean, why would you want to, seriously, and look, we're all animals and it starts with what we see. We're not just, he's got such a great personality, Like, I'll see, I just, never mind. Anyway, so back to Without You. So, it's a great story about the music industry in Philadelphia and this one agent who's kind of like a real slime ball and gets himself in over the head with the Russian mob and the Italian mob, and I'm the heavy in the movie. I'm playing the Italian gangster that nobody wants to see coming.
Oh shit!
And that's what I usually get. I'm gangsters. I'm cops. I'm looking forward. I have a comedy lined up. I'm looking forward to playing some comedy because I think I don't get a chance because of what I look like. I know what I look like. I don't get a chance to play much of that. I don't get like romantic comedies or just a romantic movie or a drama. I remember I was doing a show on Broadway, and I said that one of my bucket list parts is Sky Masterson in Guys and Dolls. And the guy looked at me and said, "Brian, that's a romantic lead." I always wanted to punch him in the head. What, am I ugly? What are you trying to tell me? It's you're 4'1" and you got a pot belly. You can play Sky, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I could see you trying out some comedy.
No, yeah, I love listening to people laugh. Like going back to being a musician, I think my favorite thing is to be on stage. I love to hear people laugh. I love to watch people dance. I like to hear the applause. It's instant gratification, I mean, as opposed to waiting, 6 months pre-production, shooting for 22 weeks, and then 6 months post-production, if they get it right and there's not an edit, and you got another 3 months post-production, and then you finally get to see the movie and hope that the audience gives you a little of that.
Right, yep.
Right.
It doesn't throw eggs at you or some shit. And, but theater is so great because you could actually hear the people laugh as you're doing, you're performing. And it's that's the greatest feeling in the world. It is. All of us, anyone in entertainment, and I'm going to say something, I'm going to make a broad stroke here. We're all damaged in some way.
Oh, for
We're
sure.
all damaged somehow in some way. And we need an extra hug that most people don't need. We need to, and we're always, look at poor Robin Williams. That guy needed the world's arms around him. He really did. He needed that. And as he got sicker and more withdrawn, he just saw no other way to go.
Isn't that crazy, though? I mean, and that's somebody that the entire world, the entire country at the very least, absolutely adored that guy.
I saw Robin Williams when I was 11, 12, 13, somewhere in there, maybe 14. It was an HBO special. He's wearing a green Hawaiian shirt and a pair of black pants, and he's absolutely insane. And it's the first time I ever saw him outside of Mork from Work. And I didn't at that time even make the connection that was Mork.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm cute, but I'm a little dumb. So I didn't make that connection that it was Mork. just the things he was doing, I was rolling on the floor laughing. I couldn't stop. And I would watch it. I watched the show until I had it memorized, and I would go do his show. I would go like in the schoolyard and do his entire show and get everybody laughing and carrying on. And and to watch him, what a talent, what an ability this guy had to play comedy, to play drama, to play horror, to be like the movie with Joe Piscopo. No, what the hell? Al Pacino. Joe Piscopo. Al Pacino. They're in Alaska. They're in Alaska, and he murdered a girl.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Endless Night, something like that. Look, Frenzy, look that up. I don't want to lose you, but it's a really great movie. If you get a chance, or 1 Hour Photo.
Yeah, yep, I saw that.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Photo was amazing.
That was a weird one, but it was good. It was weird, but really good.
In the end, when he's in the interrogation room with Lawrence Fishburne, and he starts like choking up, and he's saying, "You wouldn't let your children take pictures that they didn't want to take," and you could feel the pain inside this guy coming out of him. Yeah. Robin Williams had that ability to pull you into his heart.
See, and I always thought that he, you see a lot of his movies where he played a pretty clean part. I served in the Army. And when I went overseas, I went overseas to Kuwait and Iraq. I did a tour over there, and
God bless you.
And thank you, sir. And Robin Williams did a USO tour. He came out to our base when I was in Kuwait. I mean, we were in the middle of the desert. It was all you could see was sand and skies, 360 degrees. But they came out to the middle of our fob that was made up of tents and barriers filled with dirt, and came out and did a show. He did a stand-up comedy show, but it was amazing because I was expecting this real clean Mrs. Doubtfire kind of act, but he was dropping F-bombs and he was cussing up a store. Oh yeah, it was hilarious. He loves
playing with his dick and talking about his dick.
It was great.
He loves it.
And
he's called Mr. Happy. He used to do a whole routine about Mr. Happy in space.
Did he? Yeah. It was just.
His dick came with its own luggage. Hey, where do you want these bags?
But it was just really cool to see that different side of him. And I was 21 years old. This was back in 2004. But got to go up on stage and chat with him a little bit and take some pictures with him and shake his hand and everything.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What's he like in person?
He seems like your uncle, just a totally regular guy. And I mean everybody wanted to get their hands on him. But yeah, he just seemed very down to earth, very kind, real quiet. When he was doing his stand up though, he was loud and bouncing all over the place.
Well, that's the one thing. There's a channel called Reels, and I watched it was an hour or 2 hour documentary about him up to the time he died. It was a new documentary, and one of the things that they had said is how uncomfortable he seemed to be when he wasn't on. Like, he would go into the makeup trailers of a movie, and he'd be sitting there with him and just the makeup artist, and he'd be so quiet. He'd just be, and they would say you could feel, like, the uncomfortableness. He didn't know how to really talk, and then somebody would come in and sit in the chair next to him with another makeup artist, and now he had three people. Boom! He's on.
Really?
There's Robin Williams. Yeah, there's Robin Williams. If you ever get a chance I wish I knew the name of it. It was on Reels. It's the newest documentary about him, and it's really, really, really good. And what being kind of funny myself, comedy comes out of pain. It really does.
Right.
Like you laughed earlier about my mom beating the hell out of me and stuff like that. That's really true, and it is funny looking back at it.
But it wasn't back then.
Right. It comes out of pain. Mm-hmm. Because most comedians like poor Richard Lewis, he's batshit. Absolutely batshit.
Well, Frenzy, wouldn't you agree that pretty much any artist, comedian, actor, musician, things like that you don't get to that level of talent that a lot of them do unless they come from some kind of fucked up background.
Oh yeah, totally. Otherwise, you wouldn't have anything to talk about, and you wouldn't be. I just don't feel like you'd care as much. You'd just kind of be like, whatever. It's just something that I don't really care about, but I'm just going to do it. Versus if you have some kind of history with something going on kind of inside you, I guess. I don't know. Just knowing that you are going to be better or that you're going to do something different or whatever it is that you want to do for yourself.
Most artists, I'm going to make another broad stroke here. I was going to say 99, but that may be wrong. I'll say 65 to 75% of artists all struggle with some form of depression.
Right.
I'm manic depressive. I have post-traumatic stress from being abused when I was a child. I have antisocial disorder problems, and I had done some therapy to kind of cognitive behavioral therapy, it's called, to try and quell some of these problems, especially the PSTD, because that really makes you bonkers. And the depression is, I've been suicidal. I've drank myself stupid and just looking for anything to relieve that kind of pain. And it's 100% true. Good art somehow comes out of it. Mm-hmm. When the times you're at your darkest, and that's when you seem to be, I want to say most alive, but I don't think that's the right vernacular.
Normal?
Most creative, where your ability is at its highest. Mm-hmm. And it's weird. It's hard. It's really hard. It's hardest on the people around you. It really is. I've lost a lot of relationships. I've lost quite a few good people because my mind at those times were so bad, and I was turning the wrong way. I was turning to alcohol and substances and trying to deal with what was wrong in my head instead of facing this head on and saying, this doesn't exist anymore. You're not what these, I grew up in a verbally and mentally abusive home and atmosphere, and even the people who, quote unquote, I called my friends, I would do anything to have a friend when I was a kid. I'd bang my head on a wall. I would do anything that you could do. And I damaged myself looking for other people's approval when I should have just not fucking cared. I just shouldn't have cared. I should have been who I was. There was a lot of times where I had to swallow the artist in me because it just wasn't acceptable. Like playing the piano in my neighborhood was not acceptable. I went to dance school for 4 years. It was not acceptable. Mm-hmm. And that's the reason I needed to learn to fight, because I would get beat up really bad. I remember the guys would be throwing football around and be walking in the shop. I was little. They were older than me. But I remember one time, out of spite, I was a little kid. I forget how old I was. I was really little, though. And I was walking out amongst all these South Philly tough guys, and I was the weird kid that played with makeup and put on puppet shows. So as I walked by, back then, stop signs were these big, round steel poles that came out of the ground. So just to be really funny, this guy grabbed my head and bashed my forehead on the steel pole.
Jeez.
That's hilarious. Yeah, that sounds real funny.
It was hysterical. And I ran down the street crying to my mom, and then she beat me up for crying. Yeah, I know, it is. It's funny. You can laugh, but that's the truth. And it made me batshit crazy for a lot of my life.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was drinking like Hemingway for a while. As a matter of fact, my last go round, I think I had turned into Hunter S. Thompson for a year or two. And no, really, it was bad. It was bad. And I had literally stopped one night and said, it was around a Christmas some time ago, and I said, I've had enough of this.
Yeah.
I'm not coming into this next year like this anymore. And when I put my foot down and pulled back everything I know, go back to Emerson or Miyamoto Musashi, The Book of Five Rings, or Sun Tzu, The Art of War, or Kierkegaard, or any of the philosophies that I had read. I read The Art of War when I was 12. And it just drew back to that part of me, and suddenly I just became strong, and I didn't need this, and I just gave up on what people think and what they want and whether they like me. If you don't like me, who the fuck cares? Who cares?
Exactly.
There's something wrong with you. I'm pretty likable.
Yeah, but I feel like that takes a lot of, I don't know, just confidence, and like not even so much confidence, but just having that kind of mindset that you get that and that's how it is. But that also
it does,
that
and it doesn't
in your daily
work all
life.
the time.
Right.
It doesn't work. You need to constantly remind yourself every day. Like I have a little handwritten thing on my mirror in my bathroom, and it says, "No one is going to ruin this day, not even me."
Yeah, that's
and
awesome.
I read it every day, and these are the things you got to do. And unfortunately, like there was a great story by Groucho Marx told a great story about Canadians and artistic people in general. This man goes to the doctor, and he says to the doctor, "Doctor, I'm extremely depressed. I'm very sad. I can't stop crying. I don't know what's wrong with me. I want to kill myself. I was laying in bed last night. I had a gun in my mouth. I don't want to live anymore. I don't want to be alive anymore. Can you please? You need to help me. What do I do?" And the doctor sat and pondered for a while, and he said, "I want you to go tonight to the circus." He said, "Tonight at the circus, the greatest clown in history is there, Popo the Clown. And if you go there and watch the show and watch Popo, you'll get the greatest laugh. You'll feel so good about yourself. You'll leave there laughing. He's the funniest clown in history, and you definitely will walk out in better spirits, and call me tomorrow and tell me how you feel." And he said, "Doctor, you really think I should do that? That'll help?" He said, "Yes." He said, "I really think it will. You go down and have a really good laugh. Have a really good laugh, and you'll cheer yourself up." So the guy said, "Thank you very much." And he goes to pay his bill, and the doctor says, "I didn't catch your name." And the guy looks at him and says, "I'm Popo the Clown."
Ah.
That's awesome.
But it says a lot, though. I mean, those were the words of Groucho Marx how many years ago? Mm-hmm. It says a lot.
Right.
You know, imagine what would this world be like if we didn't have people that went through pain and adversity like that, and were able to turn it into some kind of artistic expression? I mean, think of all the things. Yeah, think of all the things that we wouldn't have in this world that we would never experience if it wasn't for all the dark times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true. It's true. And it's funny because what people don't realize is some of our greatest leaders suffered with horrible mental illnesses. Abraham Lincoln was clinically depressed. He was suicidal. This guy had a horrible upbringing, a horrible life. The guy lost his son his first couple of years in office. The first day of the Civil War, I think there was 50,000 men dead on the battlefield. I mean, imagine that on your conscience.
Nothing would get done if it wasn't for people that have toiled in adversity and have found a way to overcome it.
You got to keep your left high, and you got to keep moving. You got to keep moving. Like I said, I relate a lot of stuff to a fight. Like sometimes I'll take some really hard knocks, like everyone in life, not just me. But it's my interview, so shut the hell up. So
this is Bryan DeSanto's episode.
So I'll take some really hard hits, and people say, "How you doing?" And I'll say, "Well, I got one knee up. I got laid out, but I got one knee up."
Yeah, right. You're not completely flat.
Yeah, I got one knee up. And you just get off the canvas. You get in your corner. The bell rings again. It's time for another round.
So how big are you, Bryan? You've got that Stallone look to you. You look like a pretty big, imposing fella. How big are you?
I'm 6'2"
Okay.
I weigh right now at my biggest when I was bodybuilding. I was 245 with a 32-inch waist. I'm right now 207. I have a 34-inch waist. I don't have abs anymore. I used to have a six-pack. Now I kind of got like a keg.
Who's got abs? Nobody's got abs.
No, I'm not like sloppy fat or anything. I'm just smooth. I'm like more like built like Stallone in Rocky 1.
There we go.
Yeah. Yep. That was before he got before he shred. He was down to
before he discovered growth hormone.
Yeah, and he's down to 0.5% body fat.
Yeah, it was amazing. Rocky 3, he carried 2% body, 2 or 3% body fat for
Holy
that movie,
shit.
and it's so unhealthy.
Oh, I know.
Like when you get ready for a competition, you have to diet down. And I remember being out a couple of weeks out of a competition, and I was eating one sweet potato. That was my carbohydrates for the day.
Fuck.
And then like the night before, there's nothing healthy about bodybuilding. That when you get ripped like that, like Van Damme and Stallone, there's nothing healthy about that unless you're one of the freaks of nature that's born that way. You know, and I hate those people. They just eat whatever they want. They do it. If I look at you, I used to date this girl. I never saw this girl eat like a truck driver. I never saw a girl eat so much in my life. And I felt like, you know, it was like reversed. I would order a salad. She'd order a burger, fries, a piece of cheesecake, a milkshake, and bring me a BLT on the side. And I'd be sitting there with a salad and cottage cheese.
Right?
Because I can't. If I looked at it, I'd put on 5 pounds.
Yeah, yeah. Just one of those twacked out metabolisms.
Yeah, and what I do is unforgiving. The camera doesn't forgive, and people want you to come in and look in a certain way. Like I said, for the movie Back Road, I put on 25 pounds of muscle. I'll send you the trailer. You can see how big my arms are in that.
How long did it take you to put that on?
It took me about 6 months.
Yeah.
It took me about 6 months, and it was a crash course. Maybe you know what? Maybe about 8 months, and it was still a crash course. But I know how to eat for it, and I know the correct supplements to take.
Right.
And well, let's I'm not going to admit to anything one way or the other, but Stallone's got the right idea.
Yeah, well, hey, you're not competing in the NFL, so
No, and I know how to eat for it. I know the way to train for it. I was lucky enough during that period of my life when I was doing that. After my wife left, I got very heavy into bodybuilding and kind of saved my life. I was very depressed after my wife had left, and kind of saved my life. I had trained with a Mr. USA, with Richie Beretta, Mr. USA, and then I trained with Bob Clark, who was Mr. Philadelphia and Mr. Pennsylvania. So I learned all these, and everybody around me in that gym at that time was a professional bodybuilder or powerlifter. Yeah. So I had learned a ton from these guys of how to transform your body and what to do and how to do it. The problem is I love cookies and I'm a lazy ass. I don't like working out, but I have to.
Yeah.
Like Sonny's movie, they want me to look more like a boxer, so I dropped 20 pounds to come in leaner and look, and I'm still not ripped, but leaner and more, flexible looking, as opposed to a big bulky look. Boxers are very flexible looking; they're very quick. So that's what he wanted me to do. So I did it for him. Now my next movie after that is a film called Blurred Lines. It's written by Mike Gilletto and Andy LaQuintano, who is they're very, very terrifically talented people. The script is an excellent script. Brian Anthony Wilson from The Wire is in the movie. Reno LaQuintano from Law Abiding Citizen is in the movie. Myself, there's word that Christopher Mann, who's been in, oh my God, Chris is a rising star. Yeah. And there's a couple of, do you know Chris? You know who Chris is?
I've heard of him.
He's doing such great stuff. He was just in a movie that opened in L.A. It's a nationwide movie. It's terrific. He's doing so good. He's doing such good work. These are such talented people, and for me to be sharing a screen with them and sharing scenes with them or dialogue is so humbling, because these guys are such terrific actors.
I bet that's got to be surreal.
It's amazing. It's amazing. When you work with somebody who transforms themselves. Like I had a nice little compliment some time back from a gentleman named J.P. Hoffman, who's a director, and we worked together on a few short films, small projects. And we're filming a web series called Choices Season 2, and again, I'm playing a mob boss. And
you're filming this now?
No, this was a couple years back.
Okay.
The scene was that I sent a hitman to kill my son's girlfriend, and he screws up and kills my son. And
that motherfucker.
Bring the body in. He's trying to explain it to me, and I kill him. And the scene calls for me to kind of break down, I'm looking at my son's dead body, break down into tears, And in that moment, somehow split like the Joker. This is where Tony kind of became that. The second he lost whatever, he became this diabolical, evil human being. Not that the character he wasn't evil already, but now he's, like I said, like the Joker, evil.
Set that motherfucker off, didn't it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So JP happened to be on set, and the guy playing the hitman didn't show. And JP said, I said to JP, hey, you want to do the scene? And he said, no, I'm not an actor, bro. I can't. And the director came over, and her name's escaping me at the moment. It'll come to me. Really, really nice, very nice person, good director, very, very sweet woman. Shit. It'll come to me. But we coaxed him into it. He did the scene. And the next day on my Facebook page were these big letters posted from him, "You are one intense motherfucker." So I called JP and I said, "Is this good or bad?" And he said, you were like doing this little thing where you were walking. I have a thing where I pace, and I'm internalizing the material, and I try not to be too weird. You know, I like some guys got to meditate and and soak their head in broccoli or whatever the fuck they got to do. To find a character.
That's the one I would do. Soak my head in broccoli.
Soak your head in broccoli, go have an enema, and then they're ready to do the character.
Let's do this.
I mean, yeah, seriously. Dude, say the lines. Get on with it. So, I'll tell you a funny story with that in a minute. But he said, you're doing your thing, and you stop, and I do my breaths, and I get where I need to be. My eyes change. She says, action. And I went, oh my God, this is real. He's going to kill me. Holy shit. I scared the hell out of him, but you got to go to that place.
Yeah.
You have to go to that place. You just don't got to be weird about it. I was doing a Broadway show, and I don't want to say any names because of equity. The equity union, the theater actors union, is very, very, very strict. And I like doing theater, so I want to keep working.
Yeah, that's okay. Tread softly.
Yeah. So this person, it was a song, and I was sitting with a couple of other people, and I just, of course, me being a jackass, I can't keep my fucking mouth shut. This person's stops and says to the director, I don't understand this one line here. I don't understand this lyric. What's my intention behind this lyric? What's my intent? Does this mean that this, or does this mean this? Because without the intent of the lyric, I really don't know how to sing it. And I'm sitting there, and I go, and you just hear it. Just sing the fucking song. Right. Just sing the fucking song. Jesus Christ, I'm hungry. Sing a song.
That's got to drive you nuts for people that are a little more realistic and
that pretentious act of bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh,
where they get a little too into it, you know, with their method and their way of doing things. They just make it all pretentious and douchey and.
Yeah, it's not necessary. Nobody needs to be artsier than now. It's not necessary. You don't got to show up with your black turtleneck and your black beret on with your little round black sunglasses. Stop with your fucking Starbucks mocha latte chocolate espresso double dip. Oh my God!
What was the one you had, Frenzy, from your favorite one from Starbucks? You make fun of.
Oh, the grande iced non-fat caramel macchiato.
That's good. I gotta say it again. I gotta remember.
An iced grande non-fat caramel macchiato.
Non-fat caramel macchiato.
Yep. Don't forget the iced.
Yeah.
With a spoon.
It just rolls off the tongue.
Oh, that is good. I gotta remember.
Can I get some extra caramel too?
Can I have extra froth on mine, please?
I don't want the fat. I don't want the fat milk, but just give me some extra caramel.
See right there, I would take it in the back. Go, yeah, I got some extra froth. Wait a minute.
It's caramel.
Caramel.
Caramel? Yeah, caramel, right?
Caramel.
Yeah,
and
caramel.
Don't forget the whipped cream. Whipped.
What?
The whipped cream.
Whipped? Like your Ricardo Montalban?
Whipped
Yeah.
cream.
Make sure it's whipped really good.
By the girls I loved before, I put whipped cream on the floor.
Oh shit. So
Go back to Bird Lines. It's a terrific cast and a great script, and I can't wait to shoot it. It's kind of like Sons of Anarchy meets The Sopranos.
Sweet.
Oh yeah, it's a great movie. And Reno, if you saw Law-Abiding Citizen, rather.
Yeah.
Reno's the guy in the jail cell with Gerard Butler.
Okay.
The guy that he stabs with the T-bone steak bone.
I can't picture his face. I'd have to watch it again.
Big dude,
But-
big dude. Really, he's bigger than me. He's huge. He's a
Okay.
big guy. I mean, he's got to be. I think like him and Brian Anthony Wilson. There's a great picture of us on Facebook, and they just tower over me. And I'm 6'2". They just tower over me. And it's like one of those things where if we were in prison together, I'd be a little worried.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
But it's a great production. Look for that one. And I'm working with. See, this is the one I really can't talk too much about. We're working on a script right now. The production. I've just recently put a production company together with my co-star from One Night at Dante's, Justin Lancaster. I starred in a movie called One Night at Dante's. It was about 1964 Philadelphia, rather, not South Philadelphia. It actually took place in Center City. It was the first double murder in Philadelphia history. Jack Lopinson had hired a hitman named Frank Phelan to kill his wife and his business partner. His wife for insurance money and his business partner so he didn't have to pay him any of the money that he borrowed from him back. And
Wow.
Oh, Jack was a real scumbag.
Shiesty.
And if you get a chance, it's SDJ Productions is where I think you can buy a copy of the movie. But
Okay.
if one of you will send me an address or something, I'll send you out a copy of the movie.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
And,
yeah, we can do that.
It was a great movie. It was a great experience filming that movie because it was the first time I got to play a real character, and he was kind of funny, so I got to do some funny stuff in it. And Justin, I got to meet Justin, who was just this terrific gem, secret hidden gem of an actor. And we had become fast friends. And once we always kept in touch. But then about a year ago, he called me up and said, "Brian, I miss you. I like working with you. We got great chemistry. We got to do something together again." And I said, "Yeah, you're right." We had worked on some little small projects in between him and I. And we were trying to write a movie kind of like Boondock Saints on motorcycles, and it was all shit. Nothing was coming out. It was just all crap. It really was. It's just the truth. Nothing was. I mean, we were scratching for like, oh man, we'll save a child. We got to take the child across country on a motorcycle, and she was molested, and we're going to rape a cop that molested. Why are we raping cops? What's going on? So. Why are we raping anyone?
Why do we need to do that?
This didn't work for Ving Rhames. Let's not do this. I don't want to tie anyone up over a pipe with a ball gag. I'm good.
Well, I want Bruce Willis to come up behind me with a
with the samurai.
with the samurai sword.
So I think it's funny because I saw that in the theater, and every woman in the place laughed, and every guy in the place went,
Yeah.
And Bing was selling it. He was selling that scene. He had sweat rolling down his face, which I think is the appropriate reaction for being anally assaulted over a fight.
Oh, shit.
But nothing was so. I had seen this story, and I can't get into it really because of the legalities of it right now. There's so much. It's such a delicate situation right now. But I'd seen this true story about this cop in New York City. He was the dirtiest cop in the history of New York City. And he just kept popping up, and I happened to be in South Carolina, and I was working on something, and I called Justin, and I said, "What do you think of this story?" You know, it's two guys, him and a partner, and they were working for drug dealers that worked for Pablo Escobar, and they were making all this money in the 80s, $8,000 a week in the 80s.
Jeez.
Two cops.
Damn.
And,
he
said, and he said, well, can you write it? I said, I don't know. So I poured myself a vodka and lit a cigar and opened my laptop, and 15 pages came out.
Jeez.
And by the end of the week, I was on the phone with the guy himself.
with the cop.
With this cop
Wow.
himself. He had done 12 years in federal prison, and our first initial conversation wasn't great because he's got a worm in him, and he's been screwed over a lot. People screw him like crazy. And he doesn't understand the business. So we've become very, very close friends, and I've helped educate him on what he should be doing and shouldn't be doing. You don't give it away for free backstage.
Right.
Which isn't true either. I believe in sharing everything, but when it comes down to business, especially with him, because he's not in the entertainment business, people use him.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Joe Pistone. When Joe Pistone did Donnie Brasco, and as a matter of fact, I talked to Joe about this project. This is God's honest truth. I talked to Joe about this particular project, and Joe knew all about the story and called this particular guy a douchebag. And but Joe, Joe's he's a hardcore FBI agent, and he's Donnie Brasco himself. He's the real deal.
Yeah.
And he's going to look the script over for us, but he had a lot of insight into it. And but what they did to Joe, they brought it. They did Donnie Brasco. He got a consultant's fee, and that's pretty much all he made.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that before.
Wow.
Yeah, and I said that's not right. You should be so. I educated him as to what he should be getting, and he needs to join the union. He's to own the stories he's telling, and he didn't understand a lot of that, but now he does, and that's maybe it's good that I helped him, or it could be to my detriment that I helped him. I don't know yet. We'll have to see. But
and this is the one you're working on currently.
This is the one I'm working on right now. It's in what's called pre-production.
Yeah.
It means that my lazy ass has to finish the script.
Well, you'll have to keep us posted on that. Keep us updated.
Oh, absolutely will.
With the progress of that, because I want to see how that turns out.
It
sounds like a hell of a story.
It's an amazing. I wish I could tell you more, and I don't. See, the reason I just don't want to give away any of the magic berries right
That's
now.
all right. We're gonna
don't.
We're gonna leave the listeners wanting more. That's what we're gonna do tonight.
Awesome, and I really enjoyed. Are we at the end here?
Yeah, this is probably a good time to wrap it up. Yeah,
Holy crap!
We're over an hour now.
Jeez. Hey guys, thank you so much for having me on. I really enjoyed talking to you, and I hope I was at least entertaining for you.
Of course you were. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for being with us.
You have to come back on.
Absolutely, anytime. It's my pleasure. I didn't even touch any of the music stories or anything like that.
I know. We're definitely going to have you back on, because I have a feeling that there's a lot more to talk about.
Oh, there's
enjoy your hot date with your blondie too.
Oh,
You're still gonna go do that?
Thank you very much. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
You're welcome.
Duh. So where can our listeners and your loyal fans find you?
Right now, I have a Facebook page, Bryan DeSanto, actor, singer, musician. My Facebook page itself, my personal page, which I do accept people on, Bryan DeSanto, actor. I don't have a Twitter and Instagram yet. It is being set up because I got yelled at. Joey I, when I was talking about, yelled at me and said, "What are you, retarded? You need this stuff."
Yup.
You're on your way up. You're the guy.
Yeah. Even if you don't understand it. Even if you don't understand it, you gotta adapt.
I'd like to thank you for the whole Skype debacle, Sarge. Thank you. Guy tells me bottom of the ninth. Yeah, just sign us into Skype. I don't have Skype.
Everyone's got Skype. On. You gotta figure out Skype. Actually, this worked really well though.
Now you have Skype.
No, I don't. We're on Facebook.
No, this isn't Skype.
But
you never got it figured out.
Facebook,
that's right. We're on Facebook.
Yeah, you can find me on IMDb. You can YouTube my name. A lot of stuff will come up about me there. Some short films. I think one of the Broadway plays I was in is on there.
Do you have a YouTube channel that you've made?
I do. It's Bryan DeSanto.
Bryan DeSanto. Okay.
I said you put it in. I think some really bad audition tapes are on there.
Yeah, we saw your little highlight reel.
My reel. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Good. I'm glad. I'm happy. That's that. If anything, I could say any last words. I think that's been God's calling for me in this life, is to make people happy and entertain them on some level. more than they are, and I think it's a noble cause, and I enjoy doing it more than anything. And I'm glad I could entertain you tonight and your listeners, and I hope everybody got a laugh and a smile.
Of course.
Yeah, I know. I sure did.
I totally did too.
Good.
It's been fun, man. And
Absolutely.
we definitely love to have you back on.
Awesome. Anytime, you just let me know.
Will do. So follow Bryan DeSanto. You can find him on Facebook, IMDb, YouTube, and you've got a lot of projects coming up, and we look forward to hearing of the projects that you can't talk about quite yet. But
there's a few, but we'll be there. We'll get there.
Make sure you update that, and we'll update that as well. So
all
check
right.
that out. So, all right, you go catch up with your blondie.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
All
Have
right.
a good night.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, that was our guest, Bryan DeSanto.
Brian!
Actor and all-around badass and very interesting dude.
And super nice, by the way.
Yeah, looking forward to having that guy back on and seeing his upcoming projects that he can't talk about yet.
Yeah.
But he's got some that he was able to talk about. But
Yes.
I'm really looking forward to that one about the that dirty cop.
Yeah. All the things that are coming up.
Yeah. So check out Bryan DeSanto and all his upcoming projects. You can find him on YouTube, Facebook, IMDb. He's got all kinds of things going on. And check us out on Twitter, Facebook. We're on Instagram. And where else are we, Frenzy? Where else can you find us? We're on all the podcast platforms.
Yep. iTunes,
Spreaker,
Stitcher.
SoundCloud, Audio Mac. Just type in Sarge Approved. You'll find us. It's not that hard. And we have coming up next week, or this week on the 11th, is Doc Collins.
Yes.
He'll be our next guest coming up. Looking forward to that. He's an author and a veteran author, athlete, and all-around good guy looking out for the troops. So check out that one. And go check out National Survival Center. And get all the gear that you need for when the zombies come, because they're coming.
They're coming!
They're fucking on their way.
I saw one the other day, I thought,
Did you?
but it was actually just like an old lady.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was all fine.
All right. We are going to play out this song, or this episode, with a song by Wildebeest called True Fighter. Thanks for being with us, guys.
Bye!
Later, fuckers.
Yo, I'm a true fighter, probably die in the ring. In the land of the blind, a man with one eye is king. I bring a show that's so strong, smoke to the drones gone, flow like the waves that Noah rode on. This shit is so wrong, check it. Throw bombs while I aim missiles. Games official frames can rearrange and melt away your brain tissue. Issues, yeah, I got a lot, I gotta stop. Smoke a lot of pot, so much people swear that I got a spot. And yeah, I gotta stop. Check it. I'm not afraid of karma. My road is paved with honor. Hit your ribcage through your armor. Darts are sharp like laser barbers. Horror and terror made me smarter than ever. However, my endeavors trying to get farther and better. Whatever. The league grew. Check it. Yeah. Da 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 da. La da da. Let them know what it is. Check it. Yo. They ask me what I'm showing the kids. Off from the soul with no dough, it's hard to go through this biz. No need for me to show what I did, but you should slow your roll before you catch a blow to the ribs. You know how it is, yo. Check it. A lot of niggas go through a bid, or end up dead. Yeah, you know it's hard to grow where I live. And you already know what it is. Smoke roll with my bros after a couple of swigs. That's how it is, yo. Pigs patrolling and watching the block. And yes, these chicks is hoping to hop on the cock. And if the kid gets open and drop from the top, then your click is hopeless, you gotta just watch, ha. Check it. Yeah. Da 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 da. La da da. Let them know what it is, yo. Word, Wildebeest, many levels, extra levels. Mick Boogie, Terry Urban, 6 Cents, Another Ground Music, Harlem, Puerto Rico, I don't know what else.